In this video, we're going to learn how to program our weapon to fire. Now, we want our weapon to fire when we press space. Let's select Weapon, and let's select Scripts. So we're going to go to Events, and we're going to say when spacebar is pressed. Now, if you want to change the fire button to something else, you're more than welcome to. But for this, I'm going to use the spacebar. So when space key is pressed, first thing we want to do is we want to go to Looks and make sure our weapon is showing. Because if it's invisible, we want it to show. The second thing is we want it to start out in the middle of the ship. So let's go to Motion, and let's say Go To, and then let's drag down to, in my case, it's called Spaceship, but you may have called your character something else. So it's going to go to Spaceship. Now after this, we want it to fire in the direction our ship or whatever else you're using is pointing. So there's actually two steps we have to do for this. First, we're going to go back to Motion, and we're going to say Point in Direction 0. Then we're going to say Turn clockwise. But we don't want it to turn a specific number of degrees. It depends on which way the ship is turned. So then we're going to go to Sensing, and we're going to go down here, and instead of X position, we're going to say Direction, and we're going to say Direction of Spaceship, or whatever you called yours. That way, we'll put this in here, and it'll point in direction 0, and then it'll turn clockwise in the direction of the spaceship. So it'll be facing the same direction the spaceship is. Finally, we've got to add something to make it actually move forward. So we're going to go to Control, and we're going to grab a Repeat Until. Now what do we want it to repeat until? We want it to keep moving forward until it touches the edge. So again, we're going to go to Sensing, and we're going to select Touching Edge, and we're going to grab that and put that inside the Repeat Until. Now what do we want to repeat until it's touching the edge? We want it to move forward. We're going to go to Motion, and we're going to say Move a certain number of steps. Now in this case, I'm going to choose 3 steps. You can do however many or few you want, but the more you put in, the faster it's going to move. It's going to be harder if you make it fewer steps, because it'll be slower, so you'll have to time it out better. And then finally, once it hits the edge and continues on, you want it to hide again. So let's run this and see what happens. And moving it around, I'm going to press space, and then it shoots out. Now you're probably going to want to play with the speed a little bit, so I'm going to try this again. I'm going to say 10 steps. Let's run this again. There we go. It's going 10 steps at a time. You see, that's a little bit faster. The only little bug we have is when we start it, it may show up somewhere in the middle. So we're going to add one more script. We're going to say, when start flag clicked, we're going to hide it. That way, it'll always be hidden at the beginning. So there you go. Feel free to pause this video while you get those steps down, or watch them again.